Wow.
So I'm gonna start today's video not today, but another day. And reason being is because today's a day where we pick the winner and to see which car they'll take. So today we're driving the TownBox Wide, which is an 1100cc, so 1.1, and it's a 6-seater. So right now we're on the highway. This thing gets up to speed pretty well, but the cool thing about it is that it's a 6-seater. So we got 6 people in the car. We got the baby right there. We got Megan, full-size adults, and then we got the 2 other boys back there. And they all have seats and seat belts. So, that being said, this is an awesome non-K van, but basically a K van, but it's called a TownBox Wide. So it's full 1100 cc's, automatic transmission. It gets up to speed. And my mom was like, wow. Ma, en inglés, ¿qué te gusta de esto?
Wow, I really like the car. It's awesome.
Yeah?
Megan,
love it. What do you think of this car, Megan?
I really like it. I like that I have a ton of space here. Like, my knees are nowhere near touching the front seat.
Yeah, why don't you show around the back real quick?
Oh, gosh. I'm not this cool. Okay, yeah. Like, look at this. I have a really good space.
How tall
car
are you in
seat.
reference?
5'5".
You're 5'5", and you sit there very comfortably.
Yeah, very comfortably.
Yeah.
Car seat is nowhere near touching, which is really cool because this is a really wide, big car seat. The boys are super comfy back there. We have bikes back there as well. This is awesome.
So overall, really cool van. My mom's 5'2", and she sits on the front. This seat's kind of annoying because it doesn't go back and forth. That's, I think, the biggest flaw of the TownBox lineup, whether it's a K-truck. I mean, actually, K-truck, K-van.
Super comfy.
But my mom's super comfy in there. She's 5'2". I'm 6 feet tall, for reference. This is where my knees fall. And this was exactly the same way in Nick's TownBox. His wasn't the wide, so his was just a K version of this, which was also automatic. His had a turbo.
And very smooth.
Very smooth car, she says. So
Very smooth car.
cruising at 100 kilometers per hour right now. Just right around 4,000 RPM. Got a truck over here, but we'll take off so you guys get a reference.
Wow, I really like it.
My mom says she really likes it. 120. What's crazy is it actually goes to 160 kilometers per hour over here, but I don't know if we'll ever get there. I think it's still holding a gear. Let's see. See if we can get it to go past 140. The K version of this would have already maxed out. There it goes, it shifted. Wow! Going 87 miles per hour right now. Well, more than that, but my mom just freaked out because that thing just cut us off. But this thing is very capable. And the thing is if that truck wouldn't have cut us off and we had more room here in Mexico, we probably would go really super. Yeah, we're in an undisclosed road in Mexico right now.
And it smells new.
And my mom says it smells new because detailers absolutely killed it with cleaning this. But we're passing. We're cruising 130 without an issue. Right around 4,500 RPM. So what I'm basically saying is that the TownBox Wide is legit. It cruises with 6 people in the car. I think Lola would have fit in the car really well as well.
Yeah, she would have been sit right here.
Yeah. Here, what's cool about it is all those seats the very back seats will lay flat into the wall, and then those seats that Megan and the baby are at will actually fold flat into the ground there, which makes this essentially like a flatbed in the back. So if you wanted to take this camping, this would be perfect. If nobody takes this in the giveaway, I'm gonna do some crazy stuff with it, in the sense that I'm gonna do one road trip video with it and camp in the back. But I'll keep you guys posted on that. I'm not sure when I'll do the rest of this video, but again, cruising like right around 180 kilometers. I'll put that in miles per hour there. But we got to basically, I think almost 90 miles per hour is what we almost hit with this, and it was just cruising fine. So, needless to say, here's the driving aspect of the TownBox. The next portion of the video, you'll probably see what the whole TownBox looks like, and I'll tell you all about the quirky features of this awesome van, which is not a K van, a full-size, mid-size van, what the definition of a minivan really is. All right, so here we have the TownBox Wide. I apologize if it's a windy day. I'm gonna try and make this so it's not super windy. But here it is. The nose of this car is actually pretty cute, if you ask me. Why I would say cute, it's just, I don't know, look at it. It just looks like the nose and then the two eyes and then kind of like a smile or a cheesy smile there. But as you can tell, if you saw Nick's video before on his TownBox, his regular TownBox, you would have seen that his doesn't have or didn't have these wide fender flares. And that's really what made the TownBox Wide versus the regular TownBox a little different. Now, I haven't measured this and I didn't measure Nick's, but I believe if you look at them, they almost look identical. So what's interesting about this one is it almost looks like a K-van, but it isn't a K-van because the engine's bigger. It's got a 1.1 in it, so 1100 cc's. It's got a wider stance, so probably made a wider axle for it. Or not, maybe not, because these wheels are pretty poked in there. But I would have to look all these things up to see if they actually did. The gearing's definitely different because I believe this has a 4-speed transmission, so I think Nick's had a 3-speed transmission. But I'll show you the interiors in a minute. Showing you the exterior for now. I don't remember if his had the plate here or if it had it down below, but again, they just did this wider boxier, not boxier, but it's more like intricate body kit. Has TownBox Wide on it, which differentiates it from the regular TownBox. What I really love about this car is how they place the taillights on it. It just looks really cool. It almost looks like the truckers or their trailers, just the way that they've placed the lights. So both, I believe, are regular taillights, and then one of them is a brake light and a taillight. And then you obviously have your blinkers down below, and then you have your reverse lights. It's got a flat roof. The roof is a little dirty. I have to bring it back to the detailer or something to clean that up. So you could let me show you that part of it. But normally all these vehicles sit and they don't ever really get washed in Japan for some reason, and so when they pick up all this crud and nasty stuff, it usually stays with them. So it's cool. They have this like sticker design going on the body. They follow it here. I like just how quirky it is in that aspect of it. There's one imperfection here that looks like somebody might have touched up with some touch-up paint. You have the antenna up here, which actually telescopes out, goes all the way. There you can see a little bit more of the scuffiness of the roof that needs to get washed. It's cool that they have the rain guards on both sides and for the back window and front window. You would think that this is a hood that pops open, but for some reason Mitsubishi decided that at this era and this year they would just make almost like a fake frunk. So it doesn't function, it doesn't open. There's nothing to it, but they could have easily made it a trunk to hide things like on all the other manufacturers did. The bumper does stick out a little more. Nick's was more of a flat face and it had fog lights here. I don't know if they offered this model with fog lights, but I think it would have been cool if they did, and I'm sure they did at some point, and they had a different bumper with lights. We're done? Oh, his hands are cold. We're here at the skate park. So I think this will kind of end the outside portion of it. I'm trying to think of what else I could show you that's different than any other van or K-van. What's interesting for the Wide, in my opinion, was how they offered this as a full-size van for 6 seats. Because you have something like the Serena that offers 6 seats, but then this one offers 6 seats. I don't know if the price point was a little different and the tax breaks were a little more, because this was almost similar to not a K car, but around that. So I'd be curious to know why they manufactured this. I'm very happy that they did because it is legit. But this will kind of end the portion of the outside. It's windy, it's cold, the boys are done. It's Grover's birthday today. Also, Happy New Year. If you're seeing this video, it's probably into the new year already. But now you got to see a glimpse of the outside. You got to see a glimpse of driving it. Eventually, I'll show you the inside. We're about to leave the skate park. Coincidentally enough, we have the TownBox there. Then I turn around, and I guess we can equate the TownBox to being more like a Ford Transit is what they call it. So I guess this is a Ford Transit of Japan. If you know what a Ford Transit is, this is pretty much it. Let's get out of here and go to a warmer location to do something. It's a different day than what you saw the previous part of the portion of this video. Basically what happened, life happened, family happened. And so now I get the chance to finish the video about this. So we're gonna take this for a drive and go to my spot where I take the rest of the videos, and then I'll show you all the cool quirky features on this van and anything else that I might have to add about it. So I just happen to have it in front of me, but I guess another comparison to what this van is like, it reminds me of a Mercedes Metris, where it's got 2 sliding doors on either side on opposite sides, and then it has the ability to also seat probably what is 6 people. So there's a Metris. It's not a bad van, it's pretty cool, but let's drive this thing. Let's get it to where we gotta go. It is snowing out, and I am driving it on this like snowy dirt road. Obviously I'm not gunning it. I probably would be slipping and sliding, but for the most part, that's fine. It's a really, really cool van. Hopefully this video will get that out there and show you guys that it's a legit van. All right, so it was weird to start the video basically essentially on January 1st, and then I think today's like the 5th, if I'm not mistaken. To come back 5 days later. Anything else that I can pick up on features that I did not show from the previous video was, or when I previously filmed was, there's a scuff there that looks like, wow, it's been sitting, so I got to get this thing rewashed, but there's a scuff there. Obviously spoke about the roof, now it's covered in snow from being out here. There's a scuff in this rear bumper area. You can see there that it was probably just dings and dents. Also noticed this a little later, but it looks like when they were buffing it, they might have gone a little too deep into it, or I don't know if it was them. It might have been like that from when it was in Japan, and then when they buffed it, it might have just picked it up a little more. It's not rusting, it's not anything crazy other than just ate away at the paint. Could also have been sun fade that hit those portions for some reason. Bumpers, again, just scuffed. When people, I normally say when people put luggage in and out of the vehicles or packages or things, that's normally what happens. Trying to see if there's any other scuffs that I can show you. These are hubcaps, so there's hubcaps all around. The nice thing is they are the Mitsubishi hubcaps. No dings or dents there to report. Just this one right here. Again, probably somebody touched up, nothing crazy. Let's show you the underside. It's actually pretty clean there, surprisingly. You can see it is a rear wheel drive. And then show you the front area. So nothing crazy. So there you have the outside of the TownBox. Now if we open the inside up, I'll start to show you some cool quirky features of it. First of all, it's got more of a flat dash, which is really cool. It's got this area for the passenger side. I think this is, in my opinion, the biggest flaw for the TownBox line or the Mitsubishi line of this time era. Like I said in the beginning of the video when I was driving it, this seat doesn't go back or forth, it just pivots the back and that's it. I don't know why they did that. I don't know if they did it to cut cost or what, but I will say I'm 6 feet tall. Does it bother me? Not really, but it's just kind of annoying because my leg here does kind of encroach. If you have an FM transmitter or a charger, it will kind of impede there. Then you have something like coin holder. Normally that's where the 4-wheel drive button will go. Very simple as far as things for the air control, which is very simple. I love knobs like this. I don't really like these scroll things. I love these knobs much better. AC on and off. You got the recirculation. You got the heat for the rear window. And then you have, I think, another flaw of this era, I guess if you could say the TownBox line or the era of this time, is they did the single din. But when they did the single din, it pretty much makes it so you can only use a single din. We have put a 1.5 Atoto in there, and it fits pretty well. It isn't like fully secured in the sense that you could just like screw it in, and that's the flaw, and then it protrudes out a little bit. You can see Nick's video for that when we installed that. So that's kind of a downside. You have this area for whatever it might be, and then you have your glove box, which isn't super big, but it's there. And these shelves area, this is pretty cool. Although I will say, because you have you know, shine, they didn't get these things off. I'll have to see if I can get those off. But when you have shine, like armor all on there, when you're driving, things tend to move around. But it's cool that you have these nooks and crannies here for storing things. Let's see, visor, funny enough, no mirror. You got your rear view mirror, and then the driver's visor doesn't also have a mirror. And then you have your lights, they're on and off with the door. This one's burnt out, I gotta get that replaced. You have your arm hold there. You don't have one on that driver's side. I am in the passenger seat. I'm 6 feet tall and I still probably have a couple inches. If I sit back, I feel like I get a little bit more. You can also lay it all the way flat. So now you're flat and now you can see right into the back. I mean, if you're getting driven around like this, I feel like that's a little uncomfortable for your legs because you can't really push them out, and then you're also hitting the brindle there. At that point, it's not the end of the world. It kind of works. I took a road trip with Nick when we delivered his to the buyer, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't great either. You kind of do this like V into there where your feet are like this. Not terrible. For long distances, I think it'll be great. I think I'm going to make a video about this when we take it on a road trip. It'll be fun. You have this like grab handle here. You have like a little ashtray or coin holder, and then you have little seat or door pocket there. Ouch. This is probably the most annoying part. Being 6 feet tall, getting out, I just hurt myself because I like caught my leg on here. This is annoying. But if we go to the back, we can show you the back portion of it. This is a passenger seat. This is what really, in my opinion, makes the TownBox so cool, because you have an individual seat. You don't have a center seat there. This seat pivots back and forth. It doesn't slide forward or back, but you really don't need it to. I will say you do kind of sit a little higher, so my legs aren't flush with the seat, but they sit perfect. Long distance trips, you have a little bit of a area to tuck your toes into it. And it's not bad. For kids, I think it's perfect. For a full-size adult, I also have this back kind of pitched forward. Pitch that seat back. They can, you know, lay back if they need to. This area is not bad. You have a decent amount of room there. What's nice is you do have a decent amount of room between you and the passenger over there. So that's not bad. Power windows on the front, I forgot to add. Controls for both front windows are there for the drivers, and then a power off button, which makes no sense because if you have a passenger that you don't want to turn off or you don't want to use the window, they should probably be in the back. But this is where you're like, why didn't you just add power windows to the rear? It would have been super easy. But doesn't have the little hack where you hold the, oh wait, maybe sometimes it has a hack where you go up and then it lets you go back down, but this one does not. Your power locks that are operated by the driver, when you hit lock on there, you kind of see that. Seats aren't bad. Nice little area. Interesting color for the rug choice, in my opinion. And then 6 feet tall. Kind of lean back a little. I get closer to the top. I think if you're 6'2", your head might be touching it. There are grab handles here, grab handles there. There's an ashtray here for those who smoked. And then this is where I think it's not really made for adults, in my opinion. Not I think, I know it's not made for adults. But if you need to, like on a pinch, this is me trying to get back there right now, but probably wouldn't go through back here. But I mean, could you sit back here if you really needed to? I think the answer, straight up answer, is no. I would not want to sit back here. I'll just put it to you this way. I'm here, I'm sitting down, and there's just not very much room. You'll probably be doing this thing where you're sideways like this because you're in a flat area, so you can see there's not much room between there. For kids, car seats, or just small adults in general, it might work out. I think if we pitch this seat a little forward, it would be a little bit better, but I still don't think I can get, I mean, yeah, but I'm tight there. I'm very, very tight. It does have a seatbelt back here, so that's not a bad thing. Whoever's going to be in front of you, your legs are going to be on top of them. But for kids, I think this purpose is not bad. Again, I'm 6 feet tall. This is me standing up fully straight. I'm pretty much almost touching there. My back is like 50% protruding out. I'm almost to the very back. Would I sit here on a long road trip? No, as an adult, no. But for kids, I think it'll be perfectly fine. You kind of can get away with a lot. Oh, this is interesting. It's almost like warped, but not really. It almost looks like it does this, but for the most part, it's not bad. Back here, if you have kids, it'll work. I think if you legally needed to do it, you could do it. You could sit, you know, crisscross applesauce if you needed to, like this. But even then, I guess that would not be very comfortable. So to get out is kind of tricky too, because the back, oof, this is real time, so you can see the reality of it. But overall not bad. Let's show you the very back. Now if you get to the very back, that's when you can kind of see what I was talking about back here. This seatbelt, for some reason, I don't know what's going on in there, but won't retract all the way. Sometimes it just gets stuck and it's really dumb. But 2 seatbelts in the back. They are missing the 2 latch parts. I'm going to see if I can go to the junkyard and see if I can retrieve those. To put these seats down, it's really cool. Just pull that lever up. Pull this thumb out, put that up there, take this, flip it up, cinch it, snap it, close it, and then you have your area for the TownBox. We'll do that in real time now with this area. Latch it, cinch it, close it, close it. Now you have this area. These do protrude out a little bit, which is not the greatest, but it's not the worst in my opinion. I think it works just fine for what it is. You could still see that where the seats latch and where the seat belts would normally go. This does happen to come with triangles. It's cool that they did do the carpet in the back. I kind of wish they would have kept it going so they would have fully covered this. Gotta return this rag back to the detailer because it was left in here. But overall, cool. Let me show you what these other middle seats do. So if you open up the door, I think this is the coolest part of the TownBox. Cinch this down, you pull this lever, you push that down, and boom, down. Now you got flat seats. We go to the other side, open the door, smack that down, pull this up, go a little bit forward, and then you're down. So my mistake is that I keep trying to put the tip of that down, but the real way of doing it would be just putting that forward and down. And then you get to the flat area. So here, now you can fit something. You can put a piece of plywood, or you can even remove these seats fully, and then you would have an area to make it pretty much into a camper, I guess, if you wanted to. I think if you put a flat piece of plywood, it would allow you to put kind of like a bed, where if you remove that portion of it, maybe like build it up this much, let's say, remove that portion of it, the seats can go back down, these can come back down. I think the sky's the limits to what you could really do with these. It is a box, which is, in my opinion, the greatest thing about the TownBox Wide. It offers the cool things that a normal K-van would offer. Let me close this door, stop getting snow inside of it. But overall, a cool van. I really like the TownBox Wide. I think it's got a special heart in my place. I wouldn't consider it a 6-seater. I would consider it maybe like a 4.5-seater. Really, it's a 4-seater if you have kids. I think these half seats, or these jump seats, is what I would call it that. 4 seats plus 2 jump seats is what it would be. Because again, 2 full-size adults would not have a good time. I think if you're Japanese and you're smaller fit than an American like myself, I think you would be just fine on there if you needed to. But I'll show you in real time how to undo these. You just let this out, pull this up, pull this guy out, pull it out, flick it back, and that's it. You got yourself a jump seat. What else can you ask for from there? I guess the only other portion that I got to show you is the engine bay. Let's flip these seats back up and show you how that looks and go from there. Sorry, I forgot to show this aspect of it, the front driver's area. Kind of jumping ahead of myself, but what you have here is your gas release, and it's this one. Your gas is on the driver's side, which is cool. One thing they started to do with them is that they started to add the arrow to where you know your gas gauge is going to be, which is something cool. It's not on all the vehicles. You do have a light here which looks like it's not working, so probably need to replace that bulb as well. Same thing, power windows, power locks, power unlocks, little cubby area, little pull handle. And then what's quirky about it is that they put the e-brake on this side, kind of like on Porsches. I think some not Bentleys, Porsches, and then what's the other, Aston Martins do that, where they put it by the door. So that's cool. That holds pretty well. But you have your Prindle here. So yeah, if we come in here, come into the driver's area, I am 6 feet tall, and I fit in here very, very comfortably. I think that I have a ton of space to do whatever kind of activities I would do as in driving, meaning lay back, relax. It's got a dead man pedal right there, so if you're driving on the highway, it's automatic. If it was manual, it would have the clutch right there. I think there's enough spacing for it. The Prindle's here. It's nicely placed where you're driving. It's not really getting in your way. If you were in park, it still doesn't really get in your way. It does have 2.5 cup holders, so you could fit probably 2 cups and then like not even a cell phone there. Just a nice little nook area. Nothing up above to store. You do have this little cubby area to store. And then down below here, it does come with an ashtray. Your cigarette outlet there. Again, I explained all that. You have your tachometer, your speedometer, your fuel gauge, and your coolant temperature. And then obviously your Prindle grab handle here, which is nice if you're adjusting. I'm 6 feet tall. For reference, I still have enough room. Same thing, you can lay this seat back all the way by just simply doing this. And again, I don't know, I mean, I guess if you were sleeping in here, I think I'd want to sleep back there more than anything else. But for the most part, it's great. I think it's a great little van for what it offers, which is really cool. Now I guess I'll show you the engine bay. If we come here to the passenger side, tip this seat a little forward, undo this latch here, and then undo this latch here. It's actually fairly quiet for having the engine where it has it. Oh, I can't believe I'm struggling right now. There we go. And then you get your engine bay down here. This does happen to be what looks like to be a 3-cylinder, or maybe it's a 4-cylinder. Oh yeah, it is a 4-cylinder. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a 4-cylinder engine. You have your oil, I'm sorry, not your oil, well, your oil to put it in there, your dipstick to check it there. You have your coolant gauge here, check for coolant. Then you have your air box there. And then if we move over to the driver's side, do the same thing, pitch this a little forward, undo the latch here, undo the latch here. And then you get over to your alternator, what looks to be like your throttle body, which is very interesting that this is here and it does this thing where it like goes under. So strange the way they set these things up. And then you have all your fuses here. One thing to note, these aren't working. I haven't checked the fuses to see why that's not working, so hopefully it's just something as simple as a fuse. When Nick got them, I did notice that his was broken and the speaker didn't work. I think a flaw from this vehicle is that it only brings 2 front speakers. Why on a TownBox Wide you would only bring 2 speakers on a full-size car behooves me. But maybe it was more geared towards the workman who also has a family, so you know, during the week you would throw all your work stuff in here, maybe a roof rack on the top, and then on the weekend you could fit your family inside the vehicle to go and do adventures. Maybe that's what it was for, but you could see the engine. So technically it's a rear mid-engine with the transmission right there. And it sounds great, it rides great. No complaints on my end about this. Just have to check the fuses for this. This kind of leads me to the point where this TownBox is really cool. I think it's got a lot of potential in the sense that you can do a lot of things with it. It's one that you don't see very often, so the fact that I have one here, I think it's priced pretty well at $9,000. You've watched this, we've already chosen the giveaway winner. So I am motivated to sell this one. I think I would sell this one for, I don't remember if I told Nick 8,000, but I think I would take 8,000 for this one now. So if you're interested in the TownBox, please reach out. I'm waiting on paperwork right now. It's snowing here, which means it's also snowing in Virginia, where I run the titles. So currently they're in a state of emergency and so they're shut down. But I'll have the title for this hopefully within the next week or so. So it will be available. But if you wanted to put a deposit down until I got the title and then you pick it up once the title, or have it delivered once I have the title, that's something that I could work with you in doing. I like the fact that these are tinted and it looks like it is from the factory. It doesn't look like it's an aftermarket tint. So that's really cool. Overall, really cool van. I think if you're looking for a K-van but want the speed of a full-size car, this is the van for you, because you could do a lot more. If you're like in New York and you can't really register K-vans, this you could totally register legally without an issue because it's not a K vehicle. So any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. If there's something that I missed that you wanted to see, just please reach out and I can give it to you directly. I may make another video, and hopefully if I see in the comments, hey, this is what I want to see, and I can show it, then I will definitely show it. But otherwise, until next time, until the next video. Before I forget, we're at 121,278 kilometers. It looks like for this, it was serviced at 120,000 kilometers, and the next service due is 125,000 kilometers. I'd have to translate, but it looks like that's one of the services that needs to be done. It says R2 1112. So I personally myself have not serviced it, but it looks like it has been, and it runs really well. So I can see it already have been serviced. As I'm closing it up, it looks like the timing belt was done at 102,000. I'm sorry, 102, 111 miles back in 2017, and we're at 121. So that's under 20,000 miles to go. So it's not bad. I mean, it's overall, like I said, great shape for this van.